Hello, Teacher Kelly.
Hi, Teacher Dawn.
Hello, it's nice to meet you in person.
Yes, you too. We've seen each other on YouTube a lot.
I know we talk to each other on YouTube and on Facebook, but we've never met in person before. So
Right.
very nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this, and thanks for talking with me.
Oh, no problem at all.
Kelly, well, I am excited to talk to you. Why don't you first tell us a little bit about your background?
Okay, well, I actually have a background in video and TV production. And yes, I worked in news for several years. Yes, before I had kids. News is not a good thing to work on when you have kids because if something breaking news, you have to suddenly stay longer and you don't know what time you'll be off.
Right.
But yes, now I work for a video company. But I also have experience in the classroom. I've been around kids all my life, but starting with when my own kids started elementary school, I started volunteering in the schools and I worked as a para or an assistant teacher. I've been a substitute teacher and I've worked in the church nursery and preschool a lot too. So I have a wide range of background.
How long have you been teaching with GOGOKID?
Okay, I started in August. I actually started with GOGOKID and VIPKID right around the same time.
Oh, great.
Yes, GOGOKID hired me first because they had an easier interview process,
Yes.
and I was in the process with VIPKID but didn't get hired till 10 days later.
Okay. So how did you find out about VIPKID and GOGOKID?
Well, for VIPKID, I saw a Facebook ad for an at-home job. And as you know, as a lot of people say, when you see that ad, you're not sure if it's legit, you know,
Right.
and I needed an at-home job. I actually had an at-home job where I was from the video company that I still freelance for, but they needed someone to put their closed captioning on all a backlog of their classes because they were going to go to the streaming formats. And so that was a perfect job because I could do it from my house and at least at first they didn't have a deadline, so I could work as little or as much as I needed to or was able to.
Yeah.
So that was perfect. So then when that ended, I just desperately needed an at-home job and just wondered what I could do. So I definitely was interested when I saw the Facebook ad, but skeptical.
Yes.
And then I actually met people who were doing it. I just met people locally. The girl who mentored me does live in my area, but I did not know her before VIPKID. She also directed me to a Facebook group that talks about all the different ESL companies. And that was how I found out about GOGOKID. Because my plan was to reapply in the summer, so maybe I could be home with my kids more. I found out about GOGOKID while I was in the middle of, going through the VIPKID process.
Sure.
And then VIPKID rejected me after 3 mocks, after mock 2. So I went through all of that and I practiced. So I said, well, forget it. I applied to GOGOKID and got hired. And right after I got hired, I got an email from VIPKID saying, why don't you apply again? We're going to give you another chance to do your mock 2. And at first I was like, I went through that already and GOGOKID already hired me. And so, I waited like a week and then I decided, well, it might not be bad to have an extra company, to have a backup. A lot of people say 2 companies is, a good thing in this business to have a backup. So I started with them and I opened slots at both places simultaneously. So if anybody does that, disclaimer, you might get double booked. But so don't blame me if you take my advice. I did it knowing it could happen, but it never did. I wasn't getting booked at either, so I thought it was a safe bet. What would be the chance of 4:30 at one and 7 at another? So, but yes, VIPKID kind of took off for me first. So that's why even now I work the majority of my classes with them, but I work at GOGOKID too, mostly on the weekends.
Why did you start teaching online ESL?
Well, like I started to talk about in the last answer, I really needed a work from home job. And after I got rejected by VIPKID the first time, I looked into all kinds of at-home jobs, but a lot of them didn't pay very well. And I want my time to be, you know, I I want to use my
Compensated
time
well.
wisely.
Yeah,
Yes, like if I'm going to spend the time doing something, I need to make money.
of course.
And I specifically needed an at-home job and needed to make money because I take care of a chronically ill sick family member, so I have a lot of doctor appointments, and having a job at home, I can just do it whenever I need to, or in this case, do it in the mornings.
Mhm.
And VIPKID and online ESL teaching in general pays pretty well compared to other at-home jobs that I looked into
Yes.
that maybe pay like half as much.
Mhm.
So that's why I wanted to do it.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about connections you have made with students. But first, what do you consider a good connection with a student?
Okay, so for me, the connections happen gradually, like very much the way a friendship does. So the first time you meet someone, obviously you're strangers, and then they start coming back to your class, you get to know them a little more. Same with a friend, you just get to know them more and more until eventually you start to like them. And then the more they come to your class, you even eventually start to love them. And then when you get to that point, you know, you just think about them outside of teaching and you genuinely care about them.
Mm,
You think about ways that you can help them learn something or do something for them, even when you're not teaching. So that
right.
to me is when I feel like I have a connection with the kids.
That's awesome. And do you
Yeah.
have a specific example of a particular student you have a connection with that you could share?
Okay, yes, I would say I don't have one favorite student like a lot of people do, but I have maybe like five that I would consider my favorites that I have that kind of a connection with. But I will
Awesome.
just share about one. I had this student named Amy, and like the first few times she came to my class, she would not answer extension questions at all. So I just decided to leave her alone because she was a good student. She did the work. She read when you asked her to read. She didn't have any, behavior problems. So I'm not going to force the extension questions on her. But as time went on, I was able to get her to talk more and able to build a connection with her. And now she always draws hearts on the screen and does this when I
Oh.
see her. Yes. And I recently went away, and I don't even think the parents booked another teacher when I was gone. I know. So,
So I know for me, when I started teaching online ESL a few years ago, it helped me totally grow as a teacher and as a person. Would you say the same is true with you?
absolutely.
Yeah.
As a person, I love the job. Like, of course, we all work because we need money, but actually love the job. I genuinely have started to love some of the students. I'm happy about it. I talk about it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
my family is tired of me talking about the Chinese kids. Yes, my husband says I talk about them more than our own kids. Yes, so,
My
and
kids know my favorite students' names. They're like,
yes.
"Did you have candy this morning? Did you have Susan?" Yeah.
Exactly. Same with my husband and kids. They all know my favorite students. So yeah,
It's so funny. It
yeah,
really turns into like a whole family affair.
yes, I know. And
Uh,
well, you said how it's helped me teaching.
yes.
So as you know, with especially VIPKID has a lot of workshops, and now GOGOKID too. And I wanted
Yes.
your workshop very soon. I didn't
Yeah,
get
I'm excited.
so you can always learn. So any free time that I do have, which I don't have a lot of free time, I've tried to take workshops. VIPKID always has new certifications that you can do. So I
Yeah.
just got the TESOL and advanced TESOL while I was away. Actually, this morning I just certified for a new level.
Oh,
And
cool.
yes, there's always things you can learn. And I want to learn too. So when I was on vacation, I ran out of VIPKID things to learn. I started watching a course through the great courses by a professor all about just general teaching. So I'm just trying to learn
Yeah.
everything I can. I love it. So it's not only a job, it's a hobby because I do things to help myself outside of the job too.
What is it that you like most about online teaching?
Oh boy, I like the students. I like connecting with them like we talked about, but I like teaching them English. I like the one-on-one with both companies. I like getting to know students one-on-one. You know, I've done substitute teaching, but I also like, you know, the fact that you're forced to smile all morning. They they say that if even if you fake smile, it makes you happier for real. So I feel like
Oh.
the even I'm forcing myself to smile in the morning, it does make me happier the rest of the day too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any secondary positions you're doing with either of these companies?
I just got hired to be a virtual field producer with GoGoKid. So I
Oh.
literally just signed the contract. Yes. So I haven't done much with it yet.
And
But
what does that mean? What do you
okay, so as you know, I have a video production background, so that was perfect for me.
Yeah.
They're basically paying you the same way with you do a referral, actually. So like every time you send them a video
Mhm.
and they just want the raw footage of the video, like I don't have to edit it or
Oh,
put graphics. Yes, so it was great for how my busy lifestyle. When I heard that, I was like, that is the perfect job for me. Plus, I've done video production for years.
yes.
So, yes, so basically every time I give them a video that they end up using, they pay me per video just like you get paid per referral. It's very much the same type
Oh,
of
that's
way.
awesome because I find that editing is the worst part. That takes the
Yes,
longest amount of time.
I know. I know. Maybe you should apply for it too.
No, no, I can't do all that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. So, are you allowed to talk about it, like what topics they're looking for and that kind of thing? Yep.
Yes, they ask you, like they say, in the next 2 months, are you going on any vacations? Another thing they asked on the application was, what other things might you do? They only plan 2 months out, and I do have a vacation coming up. But I told them in the summer live in between two cities that I could definitely go,
Yeah,
visit, and I have season passes to an amusement park in the summer. So in the summers, I could give them a lot of material. So
that's awesome. How
yeah,
long do they want the video to be, or the recording, I guess, to be?
20 minutes. That's all they want.
20
Yes,
minutes unedited.
yes, I
Perfect.
know.
Easy. Let's say you had a friend and you were telling them about it and they said, okay, I'm interested. It sounds like something I would love to do and I'd be great at, but I'm a little scared. How do you know this is real? Do you really get paid? It's China. I'm just a little scared. What advice would you give them?
Okay, well, I can tell them that I've been working now for 5 months and I've been paid. It is legit. It's worth it. Like it's a great at-home job. Like I'm still working my other jobs, but now I'm doing this more, and you don't have the commute. I mean, they pay you pretty well for an at-home job, and I can vouch, and so as can you and many
Yeah.
other teachers, that it's legit and we make money and it's really going well. Yes.
Yes. It's funny, when I was first looking into it, I found it the same way you did, like on Facebook. It's like Facebook can read our minds and
Yes.
whatever we're thinking, an ad pops up. So
Right.
I found an ad for another company actually, and I started researching which companies were the best 2.5 years ago, and that's how I found VIP Kid. But I was really worried about that also. It's like you have to give your information to another country, and is it real? And so I was checking out videos on YouTube, and 2.5 years ago, there were not as many as there are now. But I was listening to everyone's experiences, and that's what really helped me make the decision to go ahead and do it. All right, Kelly, well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and it was great talking with you.
Okay, you too. All
Thanks, Kelly. Bye-bye.
right, bye.